Hello and welcome back. Now today we're going to look at what is inside of a computer. Okay, so firstly I'd like you to complete this starter task. So as you can see, I've ticked a couple already. Right, so look at these and decide, on this side, this is the start lesson and this will be at the end of the lesson, and decide which ones you know a lot about. So you can see I've already ticked them. So now, if you don't know how to tick, it's fine. You can just put Y for yes or N for no. That's fine. But if you'd like to do the ticking, all you've got to do is, for example, is go to the bullet points here and select the tick. Okay? So pause this video and do that now. Okay, welcome back. So, as I said, we're going to look at what is inside a computer today. Oops, rather than just put another slide in. So, we're going to look at what is inside a computer today. Okay, we're going to explain what the hardware is inside a computer, investigate components of an alternative device. Now, for homework, I'd like you to create a poster introducing the Raspberry Pi. So, computer knowledge challenge. Now, on the video underneath, I would please like you to comment. Okay, what is an input device? Name one. What is an output device? Name one. What is software? What is an operating system? What is the most common operating system? What does an operating system do? What are utility programs? What are application software? Now, I'd like you to pause this video and I'd like you to answer those questions now. Welcome back. Right, your success criteria is to be able to identify 3 or less hardware parts of a desktop computer, be able to identify 4 parts of the desktop computer and its function, and be able to identify 6 parts of the desktop computer and explain its function. Okay, so let's look at these questions. What is an input device? Now, an input device is any device that you can plug into a computer and be able to enter the data. So, for example, to name them would be a microphone because you can speak into it, a keyboard because you can type, a mouse because you can point and click. Okay, so what is an output device? That's where the data comes out of the computer and you can either see it or you can hear it. Okay, so that could be speakers, headphones, okay, a monitor, an overhead projector, a printer. Okay, so what is software? Now, software is the instructions that a computer follows. Okay, so software is just a bunch of code that the computer follows. What is an operating system? That is the foundation of your computer that allows you to be able to use it. The most common operating systems would be maybe Windows, most definitely, iOS or Android. What does an operating system do? Well, there's so many tasks an operating system does. So, for example, it will open and close the windows on your computer. It multitasks to allow you to, for example, maybe listen to music and type on Word at the same time. Disk management for you to save files. And what are utility programs? These are programs that have one simple job. So, for example, such as antivirus software. And an application software is a software that will have a specific function. So, for example, you can make presentations on PowerPoint. Okay, so task 1, 5 minutes. What hardware do you need to build a personal computer? Now, you obviously won't be able to do this in groups of 3, but maybe I kept this in just in case. If you are working together somehow, okay, then you can do this in groups of 3. But you can do this alone. So using the comments underneath this video, write down as many pieces of hardware that you know of. Okay, pause this video now. Okay, welcome back. So maybe the hardware you might have written down, what for example was a monitor, a tower, a keyboard, a mouse, a microphone, a printer. Okay? Now, inside a computer, so, well, we won't be able to watch this video actually because I just realised, I just this second realised that you won't be able to see it, but yeah, and it doesn't work. So, now, let's take part in this. So, this is the worksheet, so take a look at the worksheet in a link underneath this video, okay? So, and answer these questions. CPU stands for Computer Professional Unit. That would be false. The CPU is often referred to as the brain of the computer. Okay, type your answer now. That would be true. RAM is where you would store work files for the presentation. Pause this video if you want, or type your answer now. It's false. Hard drives are slower but cheaper than solid state drives. Okay, type your answer now. And the answer is true. Expansion slots can be used to upgrade a computer. Type your answer now. Okay, the answer is true. Well done. Right, so now what you need to do, with no help from the internet, okay, you can keep this video open because this sand timer will fill up. No, actually, I would like you to pause the video. Sorry, this is a little bit of a mess, I understand. I usually deliver this in the classroom. But I'd like to pause the video actually for 5 minutes. And what I'd like you to do is, with no help from the internet, identify the names of the hardware and write them under the picture. Okay, so on the worksheet you have, you have the space to do that, and I'd like you, with no help from the internet, to write the names of the hardware under the picture. Okay, so pause this video now. You have 5 minutes. Okay, welcome back. So, right, now, looking at the hardware on a sheet, okay, that you've got, you should have been able to put the names underneath. So, this one is a central processing unit. B is a monitor or a visual display unit. C is a power supply. D is a motherboard. E is RAM. F. Now, this should give you a clue because you can see this is an aerial, okay? It's a wireless network card. This is, now hopefully this fan might give you a clue because it's quite high powered. It's a graphics card. And this is a hard drive. Okay, well done. Right, an alternative computer system is a Raspberry Pi. Okay, so you can see here, Raspberry Pi is very small. In fact, it's probably about the size of a credit card. So, a Raspberry Pi is a low-cost credit card-sized computer that plugs into the computer's monitor or TV using a standard keyboard and a mouse. So it enables people of all ages to explore computing and learn how to program like Scratch and Python. It's everything you'd expect a desktop computer to do in that small, tiny computer. Okay, and they're very, very cheap. Okay, so you could buy like a whole package for less than €100. So you can browse the internet, play a high definition video, make spreadsheets, word processing, play games, everything can be done on this tiny little device. So what is the purpose of a Raspberry Pi? Well, what they was first invented for, they was first developed as a cheap alternative to help young people with their lack of computer skills in third world countries. Okay, so to help computing become more widespread in schools, homes, the third world, okay, these little tiny devices were developed. Okay, so we won't be able to watch the video, but I will put the link to that video underneath on comments, on the description. So what's so different about a Raspberry Pi? Well, they're very, very interesting. So the CPU, or the central processing unit, has often been called the brains of the PC. And as you could see on a previous task, there was a graphics card and the CPU was separate. Well, what they did was they combined the unit to develop what is the soul of the Raspberry Pi. So as you can see, what has been circled there is actually a graphics card and a CPU all in one, and it's much, much smaller than the CPU. Okay, so what you're going to do is you won't be able to work in pairs unless it is possible for you to do so. But if it's not possible, so if you can work remotely in pairs, like if you're in contact with a friend right now and maybe looking at this lesson together, okay, I would like you to get the worksheet underneath. So it's linked underneath this video, and it's also on Google Classroom. It's called the Raspberry Pi Challenge. And I would like you to find the video out connection, the network controller for internet access, the audio out, and the CPU, the GPU, and the RAM, and the USB socket. If you finished early, if you finished that really quickly and you want to, look out for the difference between a Raspberry Pi and a banana Pi. Okay, so pause this video now to complete the task. Welcome back. Okay, so hopefully you found that easy enough to do. Maybe you can compare your answers. So what I'd like you to know now is I would like you to complete this worksheet, the second part of it. Now, don't be afraid if you find today's lesson a little bit, maybe you're a tad confused. It's no problem. We'll pick this up when we get back into school, okay? But for now, all I'd like you to do is try your best, and the very, very best of luck.